Hey guys, how are you doing? So we were talking about vector analysis. ठीक है, तो I hope you have understood the basic concepts of vectors. The basic algebra of vector addition, then dot product, and today I am going to talk about the cross product and question based on that. All right. So let's begin cross product. What is cross product? By the way, cross product is defined for two vectors such that देखो अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, suppose two vectors are they are in a plane. Okay, and I have this plane, and in this particular plane if two vectors are there, let's say this is a plane, where two vectors are a and b. Okay, तो अगर आपको ये दिख रहा है तो this is a plane which is vector a and vector b. Okay, they are in some plane a and b. a और b क्या करेंगे? a और b vectors they are going to construct a plane, they are going to span a plane, है ना? तो इस प्लेन में अगर ए और बी वेक्टर है तो बाय डेफिनेशन ए, this is the symbol for this cross product is, it is sometimes called a vector product because you are going to get a vector quantity. It is defined like this, this is a cross b. सबसे पहले तो क्या है कि इसका क्या है, जो इसकी वैल्यू है वो है a b sin theta. This is the magnitude part and n cap is the direction. Okay, so this is the magnitude of a cross b. Okay, magnitude part of a cross b. Otherwise you can, what you can write here, you can easily write magnitude of a cross b is as simple as a, what you are going to write, a cross b mod, है ना? These this parenthesis, this kind of brackets, they give you the magnitude a cross b, because n cap is the unit vector. अब n cap क्या है? N cap is a unit vector which is perpendicular to the plane, containing a and b vector, containing vector a and vector b, है ना? अगर आप इसको देखेंगे, what you are going to look at, this is the idea. जो n cap है ना, n cap कहाँ होने वाला है? This is the direction of n cap vector. This is very interesting. Okay, so this is going to be the direction of n cap. In other words, if you were to define c vector is a cross v vector, a cross b vector, then what you are going to get, c cap is same as n cap, and which is a cross v vector divided by, obviously divided by the magnitude of these two vectors. This is going to be the unit vector to the unit vector perpendicular to the plane of a and b. That's the basic idea. This is the basic idea. It is going to be the same. Okay, three lines, I am using them for the definition part. All right, most importantly, agar, or what is theta? Theta is the angle between a and b. Okay, this is right-handed system. Okay, it is called right-handed system. How do you, again, if it were to left-handed system का था कि मैं अपना लेफ्ट हैंड ए से बी की ओर करता तो ऊपर की जो डायरेक्शन है वो मेरी पॉजिटिव आ जाती, बट इट इज राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम, सो आई एम गोइंग टू यूज माय राइट हैंड टू डिसाइड in which direction a cross a and b are going to be. Okay, so a and b are going to be in this particular direction, and in that particular scenario you can easily identify, a cross b vector is not equal to b cross a. Okay, why it is so? It is not commutative. Okay, a cross b is not commutative, so it is not commutative. Okay, you can easily identify. I'm going to give you the question on it right now, how to prove it, but this is the first. Okay, distributive law, but however it obeys distributive law. What is distributive law? But this is property number one, but how about distributive? अगर हम distributive की बात करें, distributive law, this a vector, if I were to take cross with some b plus c vector, it is going to be, first you take cross product with b vector and then you take cross product with a cross b, okay, or a cross c. Again, interestingly, dot product, addition is what? Commutative. What does that mean? It means if I were to take a cross c first, which I was doing earlier, एक ही बात है, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला, because it is commutative. Addition is commutative. So addition of two vector, because a cross b is going to give you one vector, A cross C is also going to give you another vector, and once you add them, you can change the order. It means it is commutative, है ना? Commutative law को क्या करेगा ये? Obey करेगा. तो A cross B plus A cross C distributive. Suppose you have some scalar lambda, which I have already talked about. तो अगर मैं third property की बात करूं, यहीं पे कर लेता हूं. Let's say third property. For any scalar lambda, okay? For any scalar lambda, okay? So this is going to be, suppose lambda time A cross B is same as lambda time A cross B. It is same as A cross lambda times B. A cross lambda times B. All of these are same, or even for that matter, it is same as, you can write down A cross B, and if this scalar, if it is coming from the right side, doesn't make any difference. This is going to be the same. Okay, all right. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to talk about some questions that is going to throw more lights on the concepts. Okay, now what do you have to prove? A cross B equals to minus B cross A. How you are going to do that? This is the first question on क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट. अब आप एक बार इसको देख के बताओ कि A क्रॉस B और B क्रॉस A को आप कैसे, वैसे भी अगर आप इस डायग्राम को देख पा रहे हैं तो यू कैन इजीली आइडेंटिफाई राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम में आप अगर अपना राइट हैंड को क्या करोगे, है ना, A से B की ओर क्या करोगे, राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम में A से B की ओर क्या करोगे, घुमाओगे. तो A पे हाथ रखा, B की ओर रोटेट किया, this thumb is in the direction of A cross B. So it is very easy to identify if you understand what is right-handed system. Okay, so right-handed system, it has to do with your right hand. Okay, what you are going to do, you are going to put your palm on vector A and rotate it towards B vectors. So thumb is in this direction, A cross B. So C vector is in the direction of right hand. But with the same logic, if you put your hand on the palm on B vectors and you rotate it along A vector towards A vector, you are going to get some D vectors. Interestingly, C vector is same as minus D vector. Okay, and it simply, it is what? A cross B is not equal to, okay, so A cross B is not equal to minus is equal to B cross A. Rather, what you can say, A vector cross B vector is same as minus B cross A vector. And what I can write here from here, I can write A cross V vector plus B cross A vector is going to give you 0 vector. It simply means, if this vector was defined by C vector and this is by definition D vector, then it is 0, 0. It simply means C vector is equal to minus D vector. Both of these are the same vectors, they have same magnitude, but their direction is opposite. And once their direction is opposite, it simply means they cancel out each other. Okay, that's what because this was the definition of C vector is equal to A cross B and D vector was equal to B cross A. All right. Okay, this is the simple question. Now, how do you do that? If A cross B is equal to 0 vector, okay, and A and B are non-zero vectors, how do you interpret the result? So let's look at the mathematics. So you have A cross B vector which is equal to 0 vector. Okay, so but interestingly, what it is saying, A vector is not 0 vector. Similarly, even not B vector is a 0 vector. If either of these vectors, for example, if you have A cross 0 vector, you are going to get 0 vector. Suppose you have B cross 0 vector, you are going to 0 vector. Okay, so you don't have any of these two vectors 0, null vector. So what does that mean? It simply means you have A sine theta n cap equal to 0 vector. Okay, so if we were to talk about magnitude, तो magnitude क्या हो जाएगा? Magnitude हो जाएगा A B sine theta equal to 0, but given the condition A is not 0, B is not 0, so what you are left with, sine theta. So sine theta equal to 0. How it is possible? Either theta equal to 0 degree or theta equal to 180 degree. So these two vectors, the angle between A and V vector, either they are in the same direction like this, okay, okay, or you can now bring it here. You can bring it here. You can rotate it. This is A vector. This is B vector. Okay. तो ये फ्री वेक्टर्स बोलते हैं इनको, जिनको आप कहीं भी ले जा सकते हो. दिस इज ए वेक्टर, दिस इज बी वेक्टर, दिस इज ए वेक्टर, दिस इज minus b vector. Okay, so either they have 180 degree angle or so they are parallel. Essentially they are parallel vectors. So this is the condition for any two non-zero vectors. Two vectors are parallel. If they are not zero, then the angle between them should be theta equal to 0 degree or 180 degree. Okay, now let's solve this question. You have to solve questions, again, this is the course for journey towards theoretical physics, and for theoretical physics you have to have understanding of interpretation of the language of the mathematics, the language of physics actually. So you have to have command over this language. You should be solving them. You should be trying to intuitively feel what does that mean. It's not about only solving and finding out answers. It is about how do you interpret your result. Okay, so you got to understand what that does theta mean. It's not only abstract कि sin theta 0 आ गया तो इसका मतलब क्या. इसका मतलब आपको पता होना चाहिए कि what is theta, how does it look like, at least as long as we are not getting into too much abstract things. और जब तक हम 3-dimensional geometry में once we will move on to the n-dimensional, for example Hilbert space, then it will be very difficult to intuitively understanding of things. What is happening you will not understand. So that is different thing. Okay, now solve this one. मैं सीधा लिख रहा हूं because it is okay, it is basically what a b sin theta n cap, or it is squared because this is the magnitude part. This is a b cos theta square part. So what do you get from here? You get a square b square sin square theta. From here you get a square b square cos square theta. Once you take out a square b square from these two terms, what you are going to get? You're gonna get sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. So essentially you have a square b square. You can rewrite it like this. This is the same as a squared b squared. Otherwise generally in the books what is going to happen, the bold letters they indicate vectors, and without, if they are not bold letters, they are magnitude. But whenever we are using board, whenever we are using anything to write, pen paper, it is advised and it is suggested always use the vector notations, a cross b, arrow. Okay, so again let's look at this question. So a vector is equal to a1, and here I am going to tell you something very interesting, how to solve these two problems. But before that, let me quickly tell you. So in right-handed system, so if we have this kind of rectangular coordinate system, for rectangular coordinate system, what we are going to have, let me tell you. This is g-axis or whatever you want to call it, x-axis. Okay, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is y-axis. Okay, तो अगर मैं इस टाइप के किसी सिस्टम में हूं, सॉरी, लाइक दिस, रेक्टेंगुलर कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम भी बोलते हैं इनको, ठीक है, दे आर रेक्टेंगुलर कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम. रेक्टेंगुलर कोऑर्डिनेट सिस्टम में अगर हम नॉर्मली बात करें, suppose this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis. You should always remember one thing, x and y are such that, okay, अगर आप right hand के हिसाब से लेना चाहते हो तो let's say, okay, so that it makes more sense, let's say अगर आपको ऐसा दिख रहा है, if this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and if you rotate x and y in a way, you get a z-axis. Okay, अगर मैं x-axis left hand side को लूं x and y, तो z-axis will be right-handed system में outward. Okay, that is the basic idea. So in right-handed system, this is x-axis. So essentially this is I cap vector. Unit vectors along these directions are defined as, this is I cap, okay, this is j cap, and this is finally k cap vector. And I cap vector, j cap vector, k cap vector. Always remember, unless otherwise said, right handed system हम use कर रहे हैं, okay, unless unless otherwise it is told कि it is left handed system, तो वो बात अलग है, but otherwise it is I cross. So what does that mean? It simply means if you want to take cross product between these two terms, I cross j, you are going to get I vector, j vector, sin 90 angle between them, and right handed system से k cap आ जाएगा, automatically you get k cap. So I cross j vector is going to give you k cap, okay, okay. And from the commutativity you understand I cross j equal to same as minus j cross I, okay, it is the same. Similarly, what you can find out, similarly you can easily find out, if you want to take j cross k, you are going to get I cap, you are going to get k cross I vector, you are going to get j vector by virtue of right handed system. Again, what I am emphasizing upon, right handed system, है ना. तो सिस्टम क्या है, राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम है. राइट हैंडेड सिस्टम का मतलब है आई पे हाथ रखो, जे की ओर रोटेट करो, यू गेट you go in the k cap direction. That is how it works. So essentially you should remember it, and if you want to remember it like this, suppose you have these three vectors, I vector, you have j vector, and you have k vector. So I cross j is going to give you, okay, this is I cross j, it is going to give you k, j cross k is going to give you I, k cross I, okay. So in anti-clockwise sense, the way I have put it, but you should not do that. You should remember it is a right-handed system, and that's why it is working like that only, okay. Interestingly, if you were to find out, let's say I cross I, you are going to get a zero vector. Why? Why is it so? Because let's do this. I cross I modulus magnitude of I, the angle between I and I is 0 degree. They are parallel vectors. Okay, okay, and n cap direction, but कोई direction है नहीं. It is going to be zero vector. So I cross I is by definition zero vector. Similarly, j cross j is also zero vector. K cross k is also going to give you zero vector. Okay, why? They are parallel vectors. They are parallel vectors. तो अभी हमने कुछ देर पहले यहां पर एक सवाल किया था पैरेलल वेक्टर्स का, कहीं तो किया था. टू वेक्टर्स आर a cross b equal to zero vector if and only if a vector is parallel, okay. So that is the another aspect which you should remember. All right, let me quickly tell you, if I were to find out a vector somewhere here, let's say, so this vector r is going to be, this r is going to be some xi plus yz. If I have this vector here, this is going to be this r vector, it is going to be xi plus yj plus zk vector, okay. This is r vector by definition. All right, so if you wish, what you can do, you can identify these planes with different colors. This is one plane, okay. What you can do, you can find out this another plane, something like that. That's how it is going to work, because this kind of understanding is required. You have to have some kind of geometrical you should interpret geometrically what is happening. You should be able to look at how it is working, okay. Now again, अभी हम अपने क्वेश्चंस में चलते हैं. अब जो क्वेश्चन है ये क्या कह रहा है, okay, what this question is about, this is about identify a cross b, how to prove a cross b now, okay. So you are going to get a cross b vector. हालांकि ये बहुत typical job है, but I can tell you something, okay, because I am assuming you know all of this. This is graduate level course. तो इसमें कोई बहुत बड़ा रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है. आई एम गिविंग यू अनदर एस्पेक्ट, how to solve this kind of problem. This C vector, अब notations पे धीरे धीरे slowly you should be able to build concepts, mathematical short hand notations, indices, है ना. तो देखो C वेक्टर की डेफिनेशन है, मान लेते हैं A वेक्टर क्रॉस B वेक्टर. ओके, so ith component, let's say I am using some dummy variables. C alpha is going to be A cross B alpha. It is going to be, by definition, if I am taking some permutations, it is called cyclic permutation of 1 2 3. Let's say alpha, beta, gamma, they take 1 2 3, this permutation. So what C alpha is going to be, let me tell you, A beta, है ना. Okay, A beta, or if you don't want to use, if you allow me, I can use I j k. These are not unit vectors. Okay, I j k are 1 2 3 2 3 1, cyclic permutation 3 1 2. Okay, this is called cyclic permutation of 1 2 3. Cyclic permutation, this is called cyclic permutation. So Ci, any ith component Ci, if I were to calculate ith component, let's say this C vector is C1 I cap, C2 j cap, C3 k cap. How am I going to get C1 vector directly? Okay, तो जो C1 वेक्टर है मेरा, नहीं, मुझे ये वाला कलर नहीं चाहिए. आई एम लुकिंग फॉर दिस कलर. ओके, how do I get C1? So if I were to get C1, this Ci, by definition, it is going to be A j bk minus, or if you want to write, B b j a k. Okay, this is what you are going to do. Okay, this is the simple funda. So how I am going to get C1? C1 vector is going to be A2 B3 minus B1 V3 A2. Just you have to B2 A3. Okay, this is C1 vector. Similarly, you are going to get C2 vector. C2 vector is going to be cyclic combination, this 3 1 3 B1 minus B3 A1. You are going to get C3 1 2 A1 B2 minus B1 A2. Okay, B1 A2. This is what you are going to get. अगर आप देखोगे इसको, interestingly, this vector, it can be, so now what you are going to get, you have this C vector which is equal to C1 I cap, C2 j cap, C3 k cap. Okay, and what you are going to get, this C vector, if you want to calculate it, you can easily, what you can do, I cap, j cap, k cap, है ना. तो अगर आप इसको यहां पर रखोगे A1 A2 A3 B1 B2 B3, और अगर आप इसको डिटर्मिनेंट से खोलेंगे तो यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द सेम रिजल्ट. दिस इज C वेक्टर, suppose this is I cap, this is j cap, and finally you can put k cap. What is A2 B3 minus B2 A3, है ना, minus B2 A3 सेम. ओके, अगर आप देखेंगे तो आई थिंक सेम रिजल्ट, A2 B3, है ना, A2 B3 minus B2 A3. अगर मैं इसकी बात करूं तो A3 B1 A3 B1 माइनस, यहां से अगर आप देखोगे B1 A3, और अगर मैं इसकी बात करूं तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी a1 b2 minus b2 a1, as simple as it is, same. So essentially what you can write down, okay, you can calculate it, otherwise this I cross I is going to be 0, I cross j is going to be k cap, and but we have to develop some kind of calculation methods which are not very lengthy, right? We can develop our own methods. So this is the cyclic permutation method, and how you can do it, just you have to put a vector and b vectors together and you can easily identify a cross b. Okay, so let's see what how I am doing it. A vector is 2i minus 3j minus k cap. This b vector is same as I plus 4j minus 2k cap. Okay, let's define this C vector by definition A cross B, A cross B vector. Okay, so how I am going to get the first component C1? C1 is going to be A2 B3. Okay, 3 2 जा minus 6, minus minus का plus हो जाएगा 6. Okay, or this is going to be plus 10 I cap. You can check it, so directly I am doing it so that you can easily find out, तो अगर आपका आंसर एक बार भी मैच कर रहा है तो एक बार सारे लोग देख लो, जो लोग भी करना चाह रहे हैं, and if you can identify it is 10 I cap, it is correct, then I can find out the C2. How I am going to get C2? C2 is going to be 3 1 है ना, तो 3 into 1, 3 1 क्या है -1 और -3, it is going to be 3 Zeka. I think I am directly doing it. It is going to be 3 Zeka. And finally, once you want to get the k cap, so you have to use C3 means 3 के बाद क्या आएगा 1 2 1 and 2, तो 4 2 जा 8 और plus 3 11 k cap. Okay, so I have written the whole together. This is the A cross B vector. 10i 3j plus 11k. Okay, this is the most elegant and थोड़ा सा इसमें calm and composed रहने की जरूरत है, and once you can do it, you will find out it is easily. Let's say some d vector is defined as b cross a. How I am going to do b cross a? I am going to take this d vector, first component d1. d1 is going to be 2 3 है ना, तो 2 and 3. देखो इसको करने का एक तरीका है, which I am just writing it. B vector can be written as I plus 4j minus 2k. A vector can be written as 2i minus 3j minus k. Okay, minus k vector. All right. Okay. Now this vector d, it is written as, अगर आप इसको देखेंगे तो आप स्मार्ट तरीके से यू कैन फाइंड आउट, है ना. डी वेक्टर इज गोइंग टू बी व्हाट इज d1 2 3. 2 3 मीन मतलब -4 है ना, 4 का. अगर आप देखोगे अगर आप यहां से देखोगे तो ये कितना हो जाएगा 4 1 जा -4 और -6, -4 -6, इट इज गोइंग टू बी -10 i का. ओके, और अब आपको खुद समझ में आ जाएगा कि ये सारा माइनस आने वाला है. अगर मैं D2 की बात करूंगा, D2 मतलब मेरे को क्या लेना है 3 and 1, तो यानी कि 3 and 1, 2 2 जा -4, -4 plus 1 -3j का. ओके, एंड फाइनली के कैप के लिए मेरे को क्या लेना है D3 का मतलब है मेरे को क्या लेना है 1 and 2. 1 and 2 कितना हो जाएगा -3 -6 -3 -8, sorry, -11 k का. And you can easily identify C equal to minus of D. It simply means A cross V vector equal to minus B cross A vector. How did I do all these mental calculation? I have used this concept of circular permutation, and you can practice. Once you can practice this circular permutation, cyclic permutation, if you want to, you don't want to say circular, it is called cyclic permutation, and you can easily, so permutation. So if you have this d vector equal to, let's say if this c vector equal, or let's say this d vector equal to b cross A vector, then you can identify some ayat di ayat component is going to be b j b a, okay, j k minus a j b k. So in this way d1 is going to be j क्या आएगा b2a3 minus a2b3. Similarly, what we are going to get, this d2 is going to be b3 2 3 1 a2b3 है ना. And if you can do this mental calculation, you will slowly you will develop this kind of intuition or this kind of calculation. Okay, d3 is going to be 3 के बाद क्या आएगा 1 2, तो b1 a2 minus a1 b2 खत्म, फिनिश. ऐसे सॉल्व किया मैंने. एंड यू कैन लुक एट, तो d1 के लिए मैंने क्या किया, b2a3 यूज किया. b2a3 बोले तो 4 1 जा माइनस 4, 3 2 जा 6 माइनस अगेन माइनस 11. ओके, सॉरी, minus 6 minus 4 minus 10. This is okay. Now it is your duty. See, you have to solve it your own. A plus b है ना, इसको आपको खुद सॉल्व करना है. You are going to solve it a plus b cross a minus b. Okay, this is for you. Take home question. I think this is interesting, and if once you develop all these things, you can easily identify, how to solve it. Okay. ठीक है, अभी मैं आपको नेक्स्ट बताता हूँ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, दिस इज ए वेक्टर a क्रॉस b क्रॉस c. आई थिंक you can do it, and once you do it you will get the idea. Again, it is homework for you. Okay, this is homework for you, and once you do it you will find out that what you are going to find, you are going to find out, you will find out, parentheses are very important, a क्रॉस b, ठीक है, cross c vector is not same as a cross b cross c vector. So it is important to use the parenthesis, है ना. Okay, so this is what is important for you. So a cross b cross c, a cross b cross c does not equal to, okay, it is not equal to a cross b cross c. Okay, so it is most important if you could avoid this kind of बिना मतलब ब्रैकेट लगा के काम नहीं होगा. ओके, नाउ मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट, लेट्स लुक एट दिस. सपोज एरिया ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम है ना, तो एरिया ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम इज बेसिकली पैरेललोग्राम्स की क्या होती है, अपोजिट साइड्स आर पैरेलल. तो दीज अपोजिट साइड्स आर पैरेलल, है ना. तो आपके पास क्या होगा, जो एरिया निकलने वाला है, दिस एरिया गोइंग टू बी साइड इनटू हाइट, one of the side into height. Let's say I am using this side b, है ना, b into h. Now what I can do, this h is same as a sin theta. तो मेरे पास क्या आ जाएगा, ये b into a sin theta. अगर मैं इसको ब्रैकेट में रखूं तो I can write it ab sin theta. If I were to write with the help of vectors, a cross b is by definition a b sin theta n cap direction, but I don't need direction. So what is magnitude of a cross b? Magnitude of a cross b is same as a b sin theta. It simply translates one side, either of the side, into the height, है ना. तो ये क्या हो जाएगा, एरिया ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम, खत्म, एरिया ऑफ पैरेललोग्राम. एंड सिमिलरली यू शुड रिमेंबर, अगर मेरे को हाइट ऑफ द, सॉरी, अगर मैं इस हाइट के हिसाब से अगर मेरे को ट्राइंगल का एरिया निकालना होता तो व्हाट इज द एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल. सपोज these vectors would have been, okay, अगर ये ट्राइंगल फॉर्म कर रहे होते तो क्या होता भाई. मान लो ये आपका v वेक्टर है ना, दिस इज योर b वेक्टर, लेट्स से दिस इज योर a वेक्टर. ओके, interestingly you have this c vector also, ठीक है. तो दिस इज a वेक्टर, दिस इज बी वेक्टर, नहीं मजा नहीं आया, क्योंकि मेरे को चाहिए दिस इज बी वेक्टर। ओके, दिस इज बी वेक्टर। तो इफ दिस इज बी वेक्टर, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी सी वेक्टर। अब बताओ इसका एरिया क्या होगा? दिस इज वेक्टर बी, this is vector A, let's say this is vector C. Okay, so how you are going to identify the area? बताओ एरिया क्या होगा? अगर आप इसका एरिया कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो एरिया क्या आता है बेसिकली? एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल इज हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट, है ना, हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट। सो अगर मैं यहां पर एक परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ करूं, इफ आई वर टू ड्रॉ परपेंडिकुलर, दिस इज नथिंग बट द हाइट h। सपोज ए और बी के बीच में थीटा एंगल है, दिस हाइट इज अगेन गोइंग टू बी इक्वल टू ए साइन थीटा। तो अगर मैं इसका एरिया लिखूं तो क्या मैं लिख सकता हूं? हाफ इंटू अगेन ए क्रॉस बी का मैग्नीट्यूड। ओके, तो व्हेन यू हैव टू वेक्टर्स ए एंड बी and they are forming two sides of a triangle, you can easily identify the area by modulus of the magnitude of a cross b. Okay, that's the one aspect. ठीक है, तो I think you are in a position to solve these kind of problems. Okay, now let me give you another questions. I will determine a unit vector perpendicular to the plane A and B, है ना। अब ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सवाल है, A एंड B के परपेंडिकुलर आपको क्या करना है? यूनिट वेक्टर फाइंड आउट करना। सपोज करो यू हैव दिस वेक्टर A, है ना, दिस इज वेक्टर B। अब थोड़ा सा समझने की कोशिश करना, दिस इज वेक्टर A, दिस इज वेक्टर B, they are they span a plane and in this plane what you are going to get, सपोज करो, ओके, what do you have to identify? यूनिट वेक्टर, है ना। अगर मैं इस प्लेन को देखूं तो ये कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा ना, अगर मैं इसको ऐसे खींच दूं, दिस इज गोइंग टू फॉर्म पैरेललोग्राम। ये क्या हो गया? पैरेललोग्राम हो गया ना। तो अगर मैं इस पैरेललोग्राम की बात करूं, ओके, दिस इज अ पैरेललोग्राम। तो पैरेललोग्राम से अगर मैं यूनिट वेक्टर क्या करना चाहता हूं, निकालना चाहता हूं, दिस इज यूनिट वेक्टर विच इज, ओके, दिस इज यूनिट वेक्टर। सो अगर मैं आपको बताऊं, लेट से ए क्रॉस बी वेक्टर इज सेम एज ए बी साइन थीटा एन कैप, है ना, ए बी साइन थीटा एन कैप। इफ सी वेक्टर इज बाय डेफिनेशन ए क्रॉस वी वेक्टर, a cross b vector, then c cap is same as n cap, which is going to be, if you can identify a cross b vector and divide it with a vector, रुको रुको रुको, तो ये क्या हो जाएगा? It is going to be same as c vector divided by its magnitude. What is c vector? C vector is again a cross b vector divided by magnitude of this vector. Okay, magnitude of this vector. So essentially what you have to find out, you have to find out a cross b, and once you have this vector a cross b, you can easily find out their magnitude as well. Okay, तो अगर क्विकली आप फाइंड आउट करना चाहते हो तो अगेन माय शॉर्टकट, आई जस्ट नीड टू राइट 2i cap, इट इज रिटन 2i cap। देखो मैं आपको शॉर्टकट बता रहा हूँ फिर से। मेरे को अगर यहाँ पर b वेक्टर लिखना है इसके जस्ट नीचे, तो मैं लिखूंगा 4i plus 3j cap minus k cap, and I can easily identify c vector as a cross b vector with my cyclic permutation method. So c1 is going to be essentially 6 plus 6 equal to 12 I cap. Okay, I think you can do. C1 is going to be a2 b3, a2 b3 is 6 minus b2 a3, है ना, 3 3 जा माइनस 6, माइनस माइनस का क्या हो गया? ये प्लस हो गया, तो ये प्लस क्या होगा? 12 आई हो गया। ठीक है, अगर मैं जे कैप की बात करूं तो C2 का मतलब है मेरे को 3 1 लेना पड़ेगा। 3 4 जा -12, -12 प्लस 2 इज गोइंग टू बी -10 J कैप। ओके, एंड फाइनली K कैप के लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, 1 2, 3 2 जा 6 प्लस 6 4 जा 24, है ना। तो 24 प्लस 12, 24 plus 12 is 36. I think this is going to be the answer. Okay. So you can once check it, or otherwise नहीं तो फिर long methods आपको करना पड़ेगा, but for the time being, I have identify how to do that. Okay. तो एक बार फिर से चेक कर लो। 12 by a vector b vector, भाई फिर से देख लो इसको। 6 1 जा 6, ओहो, it is not 12, it is 15। देखो कुछ मिस्टेक है, पहली मिस्टेक हो गई भाई। 6 1 जा 6, 6 हो गया, और 3 3 9 होते हैं ना, तो 9 और 6 15 आई का। ओके, -10 J, और इसको देखना, 3 दूना 6, 6 चौके 24, 30, 30 हो गए। ओके, सॉरी, इट इज 30 के कप। नाउ इट इज करेक्ट। हो गया, हो गया। तो ये थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस है, अगर थोड़ा सा भी मिस्टेक हो गया तो एवरीथिंग गोज रॉन्ग। सी कैप इज गोइंग टू बी नाउ 15 आई कैप -10 J कैप प्लस 30 के कैप अंडर रूट। अगर मैं यहाँ से 5 कॉमन ले लूं तो आई एम गोइंग टू हैव 3i -5 2 जा 10 प्लस 5 6 जा। देखो फिर से, अगर मैं यहाँ से 5 कॉमन ले लूं तो सी वेक्टर से मैं 5 कॉमन ले लेता हूँ, और अदरवाइज इफ यू डोंट वांट टू टेक कॉमन, जस्ट राइट डाउन। ठीक है। ओके, आपको ये कैलकुलेशन करनी है। 15 का स्क्वायर होता है 225, है ना। ठीक है, 10 का स्क्वायर कितना हो जाएगा 100, 30 का स्क्वायर हो जाएगा 900, 1000 1225। तो नीचे आ जाएगा अंडर रूट 1225, है ना। ऊपर कितना है 15i -10J प्लस 30 के कैप। ओके, 30 के कैप। तो अगर आप देखोगे तो ये नीचे आ जाएगा 35 का स्क्वायर। आई थिंक इट इज द स्क्वायर ऑफ 35। सो 5 is common now, 3i cap minus 2j cap plus 6k cap divided by 35. Okay, let me once check 35 का स्क्वायर। एक बार मुझे चेक करना पड़ेगा। आई थिंक आई हैव दिस कैलकुलेटर विद मी। आ जाओ भाई, 35 इंटू 35 1225 सही है। इट इज करेक्ट नाउ। ओके, तो व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट 7, है ना। तो जो सी कैप है या एन कैप है या सी कैप है, अगेन इट इज कैलकुलेशन। ओके, नो फिजिक्स, नॉट मच। 2J प्लस 6k कैप डिवाइडेड बाय 7, or otherwise 3 by 7, 2 by 7, 6 by 7. This is how you can write the answer. Okay, so that is again most important. Now quickly telling you something very important and giving you some homework problems. Again, prove law of sine of plane triangles. This is most important, and let me tell you, how to do that. Okay, देखो ध्यान से समझना। अगर मेरे पास क्या है, ये ट्राइंगल है, ऐसा ट्राइंगल है ना। इट इज ट्राइंगल ए, triangle B, then it is 3 sides. So these 3 sides are such that angle side A, side B, side C. Okay, it is written as A side A, side B, side C. A के सामने वाला side A, B के सामने वाला side B, और C के सामने वाला side C. Okay, this is how it is written. Okay, triangle law क्या कहेगा? How triangle law is going to look like? Triangle law of vector addition is going to be vector A plus this vector b equal to minus of c vector, okay, because the direction of c is downward. So what you are going to get, you are going to get c plus b, okay, you are going to get, let me tell you. So what you have, vector a plus vector b plus vector c equal to 0 vector, okay, essentially it is forming a triangle. Now let me tell you something interesting. Now what do you get? Suppose you were to take a cross a plus b plus c equal to a cross 0 vector. What do you going to get? A cross a equal to 0. You are going to get a cross b vector and plus a cross c vector equal to 0 vector. Now what you can do? A cross b vector is same as, if I were to take the minus sign here, so you are going to get c cross a vector positive there, okay, c cross a vector. I think you can do it easily. Similarly, what I can do, similarly, है ना, अब ध्यान से देखना, थोड़ा सा धीरे धीरे slowly we are going to build, mathematical skill set, okay. Sometimes we will commit mistake, but over a period of time it is going to be, you will get expertise, right? Now b cross a, b cross this whole equation, so b cross a is going to be b cross a, b cross b is 0, you are going to get b cross c equal to 0 vector. Now if I take it other side, you are going to get b cross a vector is same as c cross b cross a is same as, or if I were to write in the cyclic permutation, b cross c is going to be same as a cross b, okay, because this is again this minus sign, it will pick minus sign to write a cross b. Similarly, if I were to take c cross a vector plus c cross b vector, c cross c is going to be 0, c cross 0 is going to be 0 vector. So essentially you get c cross a vector is same as b cross c vector, क्योंकि दूसरी साइड ये जैसे ही जाएगा this minus sign will be gone, okay. Now what do you get? So essentially you have this, from this discussion what you have, a cross b is same as b cross c is same as c cross a. All of these terms are equal. So now applying the concept of, it is going to be ab sine theta modulus ab sine theta. What is the angle between a and b? A और side b के बीच में क्या है? Sin c. Similarly, you are going to get bc sin a, ca sin b. Now, if I were to divide this whole equation with abc, you are essentially going to get ab से ab कट गया, bc से bc कट गया, ca से ca कट गया, तो आपके पास जो बचेगा वो क्या बचेगा? आपके पास बच गया sin c divided by side c, sin a divided by side a, you are going to have sin b divided by b, okay. This is the sine rule, essentially we have proved it, okay. तो यहां पर बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन है, and I want you to solve few questions your own, okay. This is again homework problem for you. You need to understand how to solve these problems. Sides of triangles are given as a and b, determine the angles of the, okay. This is again very interesting, it is going to be very interesting, look at it. Agar if you need hint, first check if a dot b equal to 0 or not. If it is 0, then a is perpendicular to b, okay. अगर आप दूसरा देखेंगे, suppose the find the projection of, it is identify, again homework problem, okay. Again if you need my suggestion, if you need my hint, कभी भी कोई वेक्टर a का v वेक्टर में अगर आपको क्या करना हो, प्रोजेक्शन देखना हो, find the projection of vector on the, let's say this is b vector, let's say this is a vector. If you get a dot b, you get a cos theta, as simple as it is, okay. Again easy. Now a vector b vector, find the unit vector perpendicular to a and b, okay. This is again interesting, what you can do, इसके लिए भी, this is again homework problem, okay. तो आपको इसको भी ट्राई करना है ना. तो a और b वेक्टर दोनों के आपको क्या चाहिए? परपेंडिकुलर चाहिए. दिस इज द वेक्टर, है ना. ये भी क्या है? दिस इज अगेन homework problem. So look at this, and this is again homework problem. So we end with this problem. See you guys until next time. In the next class, I am going to talk about scalar triple product, vector triple product. So thank you so very much, guys. See you until next time.